I'm Roamy from Southeast Slings. Today I'm going to show you how to give baby a bit more visibility when you're using a stretchy wrap. Now if you like my videos, it'd be really lovely if you could like this one by clicking on the button below. If you want to follow my Instagram or Facebook pages, that would be great, and you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you get notified whenever a new video comes up and if any other baby wearing information is put out on any of my pages. For this video I'm using the Izmi Baby wrap, which is a bamboo wrap. It's lovely and cool to wear because it's nice and thin, and it's a really nice, easy to use stretchy wrap. But the tips I'm going to give you are basically applicable to any kind of stretchy wrap. So first things first, I've got baby in here and I've checked that they're held securely and safely. So I've made sure I can see their face and they can breathe, and that they're held as tightly as holding them in arms. Now for this, I'm presuming baby is a couple of months old, so they're starting to get a bit of head control. They're able to look around a little bit more, and they're basically wanting to see a bit more of the world around them. So their focal length is getting longer and they're just a bit more interested in the world. So a lot of babies go through quite a nosy phase around 3 or 4 months. So I'm going to show you some ways to help enable your baby to see while still being held securely. So the first thing that's a really easy thing to do is basically to flip this shoulder. So at the moment the piece of material is quite close to baby's face. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either fold the shoulder over like this, but the way I tend to prefer to do it is by sliding my hand underneath, taking hold of this piece of material, and then just swapping over the seams like that. Now the reason I do it going underneath rather than over the top is that stops it from pinging back into place when you lift your arm. So if I lift my arm there, you can see it has stayed folded. If I'd folded it the other way, it would have pinged back over. Now what's nice here is it's created a twist, which means there's no way that fabric can go anywhere close to baby's face, and gives a lot more visibility for baby. Now obviously with a real baby they'll be turning their heads, so you may find you want to do it on both sides. So whichever way baby is facing, they've still got nice clear view out of the sides. Now if your baby is still kind of in between getting head control, quite often their head will be a little bit kind of jerky. So what a lot of people find can be helpful when they're at that sort of stage is to roll a muslin into here. So I've got my muslin here, and all I'm doing is I'm just going to roll it like this into a kind of sausage shape, and then take the top edge of the carrier and just bring that over like this. Now what that does is it gives a little bit of head support just for when their baby is wanting to see around, they're getting a bit of head control but need a little bit of support behind their head. It's also a really handy place to keep a muslin. Okay, the final thing I'm going to show you to do now. This does depend on the stretchy wrap you're using. If the stretchy wrap you're using is really, really stretchy, you may find this isn't quite such a good thing to do with that one, but it really depends on the wrap. But for this one, this is a nice supportive stretchy wrap, so it's got a lot of stretch, but it's also very snug. So what you can do, providing baby's got full head control, is you can just bring their arm out on one side like that, with or without the muslin. I might just take it out for demoing with this. So all I've done is brought baby's arm out, and again this means they can just see around a little bit more. Now if you're going to bring baby's arm out, make sure the fabric is coming up to their armpits or higher. You don't want it any lower than their armpits, and make sure they're still held really securely and snugly, so that there's no way this fabric can peel any lower, and if they were to lean backwards, so they're not going to come out. So if this baby was to go backwards, you can see they're still held really nice and securely there. It really does depend on how stretchy the material is, as I said before, so just check what your stretchy wrap is like. If you're not sure, feel free to get in touch with me or go and see your local sling library or Babywearing consultant, and they'll be able to help you with that. So those are my 3 kind of suggestions for making it a little bit easier for baby to see around when they're in their stretchy wrap. Flipping the shoulders, and then obviously rolling the muslin into the front piece here, and then also bringing baby's arm out on one side or the other to give them a little bit more movement and visibility. Hope that's been helpful to you. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below. Remember to head over and like my Facebook and my Instagram and follow my YouTube. And if you like this carrier, then you can buy them on my website, which is Southeast Slings, and they're all available on a try before you buy basis. Hope that's been helpful.